B-R-A-I-N, B-R-A-I-N, my brain is for thinking. All right, Bella, let's look up here. I want you to think about if you have ever done something that is really difficult to do. Well, sometimes when you lose something, someone helps you. But can you think of anything that you've tried, Bianca? Have you tried to do something and you're like, wow, this is really, really hard?
My mom is telling me to do first grade stuff.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's think about that. When you're doing work that's really hard for you to do, how do you feel sometimes?
Angry.
You might feel a little angry. How do you a little sad? Frustrated.
Mad.
You might feel mad. Well, let's think about this hands down. Let's think about this real quick. If you were trying to do something that was really hard for you to do, you might start getting a little frustrated. You're like, oh, I can't do this. And maybe you start getting a little sad.
Scared that you'll mess up.
Maybe you're a little scared. So,
Or maybe you could run away. Or maybe you're
well, would it be a good idea to run away from the problem?
Or maybe we could sit down and turn on the TV. Or maybe we're shy and we can go behind our mom.
You know what? When you're doing something difficult, like in the classroom, sometimes I tell you to do what? Stop and take a deep breath. And then I tell you to try again, right? Because we can't do something the first time.
Something was hard for me.
What about when you finally learn? Friends, let's focus. Hands down. Okay, let's focus. Ready? When you learn to do something, how do you feel when you finally say, I can do it? How might you feel, Faith?
Happy.
You might feel happy. How would you feel when you learn to do something?
Excited.
Excited. What about you, Juanito? Really excited. How about you, Robert?
Humongous excited.
Humongous excited. So super, super excited, right? Show me how you would look if you learned something new. Super happy. Oh my. All right. Are we ready? Let's think of some things that we've learned and some different things that we may want to do someday. So we talked about how some friends said they were learning how to do different work. That was kind of difficult, right? What was hard for you?
To look for my green phone, my with the numbers.
You couldn't find it?
Something was
Joel, I see you raising your hand and he's sitting down quietly. So Joel, I think, is ready. Is there something that you really want to learn how to do? Yeah, what do you want to learn to do? Well, I've never tried that. You'll have to tell me what that is when you learn. To cook? So you want to learn how to cook, right? Because that's kind of difficult to do when you're 4 and 5, even when you're Miss Garcia's age. Well, you know, Miss Garcia's older, and it's still kind of hard, isn't it? Well, for me it is.
I know what Blue does.
Friends, go ahead and put your hands down. We're going to watch a video of a person learning how to do something. Now, this is something that you already know how to do, but I want you to watch and see what this person is learning how to do and how they feel. I want you to see how they feel when they learn how to do this, okay? Are you ready? Adrian, will you go ahead and get the lights? So I want you to turn. I don't want you to tell anybody right now, Joel. We're going to do this together. So what did the friend on the video learn to do, Bella?
To walk.
To walk. She learned to walk. You know.
I fell down when I was a baby.
You did. Show me how we sit. Show me how we sit. When we were all babies, even Miss Garcia, we all had to learn
How to walk.
to walk. Now, do you think it was easy for us to learn how to walk? No. It was hard. It was hard. It was difficult, wasn't it? It was a difficult thing for us to do. How do you think you felt once you learned how to walk?
I feel angry.
When you learned how to walk? You know, I was probably frustrated when I was trying to learn, but when I finally took my first steps, Did you see the little girl when she finally started walking? What did her face tell you? How was she feeling?
Happy.
She was happy. How do you think you may have felt, Bella, when you first learned how to walk?
Happy.
Probably happy. Yes, Faith.
And when I was a baby, and my dad was helping me learn how to walk, and I did it, and I was so happy.
You were so happy. Now, while you were learning to walk, you were probably a little bit,
Difficult.
it was difficult, but you may have felt a little
Or maybe-
frustrated.
or maybe we fell.
You may have fallen many times, but you kept trying over and over and over. Friends, I need us to focus. Lisette and Bells, right now it's brain time. Don't worry about that. We've got that. We've got it. These are things that you could not do when you were little, okay? But that you know how to do now. One of those things we just saw in the video, we can all do what?
Walk.
We can all walk now, right? So that's something you had to learn. So let's do that first. So I want you to think about, hands down for a second, I want you to take a moment just to think about things that you could not do when you were little, okay? But that you know how to do now. Faith, what's something that you could not do when you were little but you can do now?
I cannot talk to my dad.
You couldn't talk, you're right. When you were little, do you think you could talk like you do now? Using those big kid words? No. Right. So
Then now I can talk to my dad.
now you can talk to your dad and to your mom and to your friends.
And to my sister and my brother too.
Adrian, is there something that you couldn't do when you were little but you can do now?
You can walk.
Walk. Yeah, we talked about we couldn't walk when we were little. All right, Bells, is there something you couldn't do when you were little but you can do now?
I couldn't do a puzzle,
A puzzle.
but I can do it now.
You can do a puzzle. Okay, now take a moment to think about this. I want to know, what do you find difficult to do now? Is there something that's kind of hard for you to do now? That you're like, oh, wow, that's hard. That's difficult. I don't know how to do that yet. All right, let's see. Adrian.
You don't know how to climb the ladders, but you can be brave. But sometimes your house can be slippery on the top.
Oh, so,
It can rain.
oh, yeah. So it's probably a little difficult to climb a really tall ladder, right? Yeah. Okay.
I almost fell down when I slipped over.
Oh, we have to be super careful.
Then I fell down on the concrete.
All right, I'm looking to see who's sitting down quietly and has her hand up in the air ready to tell me something. Faith, is there something that you find difficult to do now?
I couldn't stay on the line when I was trying to write my letters.
Okay, so that's kind of hard, staying on the line when you write. Okay. Staying on the line when I write. All right, let's look at this list real quick. So Julian wasn't here, so we need to tell Julian what we just did, right? Julian, we're talking about things that can be difficult. So on this side, it's things that our friends have decided were difficult when they were little. Robert? Breathe, bud.
Talk about other little baby.
So let's listen real quick. Ready? When you were little, it was difficult for you to learn how to talk and walk, do a puzzle, run, get in the car, carry things, sit in a chair. But now you can do that. You can do all of that. You've tried and tried and tried, and you've practiced, and now you can do all of that. Now these are things that some of you might find a little difficult to do. Let's see what it says, Adrian. Robert? Climb a ladder, staying on the line when you write, doing hard tricks in the gym, writing and building a book, building a house, and work. This might be difficult to do right now. When you were a baby, this might have been difficult. All right, are we ready? One thing that we have to remember, how do we say? Show me that. One thing that we have to remember is that things are going to be very difficult sometimes, but we have to keep trying. What's one of the things that we say when we can't do something in here? I can't do it yet. Because if you keep trying, you have to practice, and then one day you'll be able to do it. And how are you going to feel when you can accomplish all of that? Excited. All right, good job, friends.